Today on the channel, we go down the retro rabbit hole with two different wrestling companies, figure collections, Wrestling Something Wrestlers Mike Chioda, and Rush Collectibles, the French Angel.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another retro wrestling unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got a double dose with the figure collections, Wrestling Something Wrestler, referee Mike Chioda, and Rush Collectibles, Maurice Tillet, the French Angel. But for all your retro needs, Rush Collectibles, figure collections. But for everything else under the sun, Ringside Collectibles, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And of course, gonna do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're gonna take a look at the packaging. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna unbox it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see where it goes from there, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Got two figures here, and I said, let's just put them together. Let's do that. And we're gonna start off with Mike Chioda. Probably a little less to talk about. We're gonna have a lot to talk about the Rush Collectibles one. Mike Chioda, figure collections. We just recently unboxed Colt Cabana ×3 on the channel. Check out that video if you did miss that. But now we got Mike Chioda, and there was two different carded versions of Mike Chioda for your purchasing pleasure. I just went with this one. I knew I was opening it up, same figures twice, so I'm just going to roll the dice. I'm just going to take this one. No big deal there. And every toy company that does wrestling figures should have a referee figure. So Mike Chioda representing here. Of course, we saw Zombie Sailor representing with Earl Hebner. Mattel, of course, Muhammad Ali. Why wouldn't you have him in the retros? I got to think we'll see some more in the future. Wouldn't be shocked to see Mitch over at Grapplers and Gimmicks have a referee in the future as well. Somebody get me Bill Alfonso. That's the referee figure I want. Somebody look into that. But Mike Chioda, of course, a very famous referee, many years, of course, going all the way back to like probably 88, 89, something like that. I think he's pretty much all retired by now. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what Mike Chioda's up to right now. Maybe he's watching this video. Shout out to Mike Chioda. Who knows? Wrestling Something Wrestlers right there at the top. Of course, got the figure, got his autograph. Looking good. Look at that baby face referee there, looking a lot younger. I remember him more from the Attitude Era. I don't know about you guys. I guess I wouldn't be shocked to see a more older version of that era maybe in the future. This is the old school era, of course, as we know. Limited to 400, and he's the third man in the ring. The third man in there, referee Mike Chioda, part of Series 1, of course. But looking good, looking interesting. On the back, of course, we got the cross-sell. Shout out to any company that does a cross-sell. That is something that's missing from a lot of toy lines. Man, oh man, you got to have a cross-sell. It's just Toys 101, if you ask me. It does say Mike Chioda from Willingboro, New Jersey. Oh my gosh, is that possibly the greatest place to live in the United States? Somebody let me know. I'm going to guess no, but it might be to somebody. Making his TV debut in 1989. Look at that. Mike Chioda has been the third man in the ring ever since, from then until 2021. Mike called some of the most legendary and iconic matches in pro wrestling history. He called some, he reffed some, I think is what he did. Something Wrestlers brought to you by FigureCollections.com. This is an adult collectible, not a toy. Yeah, you hear that, Mark Summers? Is there an age thing on here? Mark Summers, it's not a toy, so you know that. Don't be trying to give this away. Oh, here we go. Not suitable for anyone under the age of 15. And we've unboxed all these on the channel here. It's got Chelsea Green, Colt Cabana, Effie, Mike Chioda, the Headbangers, Blue Meanie, Brian Clark, Ultimate Dragon, Sonny Ono, Macho Man, Dwayne Gill. Unboxed every single one of them. Man, oh man, it's time to get a discount code from Figure Collections. Figure Collections, I bought every single one of these. The only one I'm missing at this point is Jim Mitchell and the Bone Crushing Wrestlers. I need to pick that one up, though. I do. But let's get old Mike Chioda off the card. Let's see what all the fuss is about. And let me tell you, there's a lot of fuss with Mike Chioda. He's a fussy guy, is what I've heard. I think he used to smoke like a chimney, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember seeing him backstage at a Raw way back in the Attitude Era, and I think he was smoking. I could be wrong. But I believe that was the case. See you later, Mike Chioda. Goodbye. And we get accessories. We get hand accessories here. Always makes sense with a referee because they're going to need a flat hand to count. They're going to need a 1 finger, a 2 finger, a 3 finger, maybe a middle finger. Who knows? Maybe we never know what they might need. But we do get the flat hand. No, it's the 3 count hand. We get the 3 count hand right here for Mike Chioda. I don't like this 2-hand here. We got this 2, throwing up the 2 like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. You're unless you're running James Dio, you shouldn't be doing this. Or I guess you could be doing the 2 sweet if you wanted to, but unless you're doing the Dio, you're giving a little bit of that. It looks a little weird. I don't like referees that go, oh, it's a 2, it's a 2. No, you go, it's a 2, 2. That's what you do. That's just me. That's me. From one referee to another, of course, as you guys know. One of the most famous referees of the Midwest, myself, as we all know as well. Now, he does got the 2-hand on this one, and then we got the flat hand over here. And that's what you got to have. You got to be able to count those down. Got the flat hand right here. Now, this is straight up referee, and this is one of those figures. Yeah, it's Mike Chioda. You could use this about as a plain referee if you really wanted to. I don't know about you guys. I look at this head sculpt. I don't think I could guess Mike Chioda. When I think of Mike Chioda, I think Attitude Era. I don't think so much of this era. That's just me, of course. But it really does feel kind of like a nameless, faceless referee at the end of the day. No offense to Mike Chioda, of course, but that's what this feels like. So you put these with your WWE Mattels. They would scale really great with that. You could mix that in, your grapplers and gimmicks. What other retro line you want to put it in with, this would work, I do feel. But it does look just kind of a nameless, faceless guy. It almost looks like a surfer dude there with that blonde hair, a little bit of mullet going on. You got the bow tie, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, 2 ears, playing those human hits, of course, as we do know. You got the long sleeve shirt on, of course, then the black pants, black boots. Just your standard referee figure, no doubt about it there. Now, this hand over here, the counting hand, the slapping down on the mat hand, that is not removable. These hands go over here. So you can have the 2, the 3. And why do we have 2 2s? Why do we have 2 different versions of 2s? This hand should be a 1. That's my gripe right there. It should be a 1. We don't got a 1 count, so we should have had that. Should just pop off. Maybe. Maybe. There we go. It takes a little while. It's on there pretty good, so I do appreciate that. Pops in and out. Just got to give it a couple of turns. Nice tight fit. It's not loose. It's not falling out. See a lot of times with Mattel Elites lately, you move the hands the first time. They don't go back in as snug as they once did. This goes in nice and snug, so shout out to them on that one. Articulation, head back and forth, waist back and forth, arms all the way around. Very tight articulation here, but that is it. No extra articulation, but guess what? He does got a peg hole in his foot. I am definitely here for that. Shout out to Figure Collections for the peg hole. Look at that. I'm here for that. Ringside Collectible Stand. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. Shout out to Figure Collection. I feel every figure should be able to go on a stand of some kind, and they made it easy right here with the ringside one. So Mike Chioda, not a bad piece of business, limited to 400. That does work right there. I don't think it's setting the world on fire. I'm sure some people will pass on this one, but like I said, every toy line, Figure Collections, Wrestling Something Wrestlers in this instance, should have a referee figure, and it's pretty cool they got an actual real referee. They could have just went the generic route. They went the extra mile to get a Mike Chioda, who does have name value in the referee community, so it works for me. So kudos to Figure Collections on that one. So now we got to talk about possibly the most controversial figure of this year, and it's very weird as the French Angel is probably the least known figure being released this year. I have a lot of history with Maurice Tillet. He is actually my father. Yes, it's true. No, it's not. I was, of course, a member, went to the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Waterloo, Iowa, the Dan Gable Hall of Fame there. I've been going there for 20 plus years at this point. And he does have a death mask, him being Maurice Tillet. There's, I think, 2 of them in existence, possibly 3. We know Bruce Pritchard has one in his office. The Hall of Fame has another one, and I've seen that thing for many, many years. You get to see a little of his story. So I've known about him for decades at this point, where most people have kind of forgotten about him. A lot of people nowadays say, oh, he was the influence for Shrek. This is who they got the Shrek character for. So be that true or not, who knows. But a guy that definitely was a different looking dude. And he looks like he might have been a giant, but I think he was only like 6 feet tall or something like that. But he did have the massive head going on there. So he definitely looked different. In a different time, he would have been maybe in a circus freak show. A different time, maybe would have been a big movie star. Who knows? But during this time, he was a wrestler. But a gentle giant is what I was always told. And that's what they say at the Hall of Fame there. So that's a little history on Maurice Tillet, the French Angel, of course. But the controversial thing was, I think I paid for this about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. What is time? What is money? I don't know. A long, long wait for this one. And we did unbox Rush collectible figures on the channel. We unboxed Roadblock. We unboxed Bronson Reed, and we also unboxed 2 different versions of Larry Zbyszko. Now, a lot of people had challenges with the figures kind of falling apart. If you guys remember back to my video, I think I was more than fair in my video on those. I didn't have issues with any of them until I got to the red Larry Zbyszko. which did crumble in my hands, and I let everybody know that at the time. So I didn't have as many issues as some had. I definitely had one issue, and one issue is enough to turn a lot of people off. And Rush Collectibles has had a very turbulent year. A lot of people joking about them, and I guess you kind of bring it on yourself from time to time. But it's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of feuding with other places. I stay out of all that kind of stuff because I honestly don't care that much. I just don't. I don't got enough time to get down into the weeds on something like that. But it's been very cantankerous with Rush Collectibles, their fan base, other collectors, other toy lines. We've seen kind of the whole gamut run right there. And a lot of people thought this French Angel figure would never come out. But man, here it is. A man of his word. He did get this out, be it very, very late. It is here, and there's apparently some loose ones you can buy still. I'm sure you can buy this one. And there's also one that comes with a black robe. So I'm not sure all the issues with all that kind of stuff, how you get which one or the other. I pre-ordered this one when it came up with the other ones. Here we are today, which leads us to this unboxing, and that's where we're going to dive in. And first thing I'm going to tell you, I noticed right off the bat the packaging is improved over the last one. You got kind of that nice glossy slip cover over the top, which is very nice. You want to put this back in, take it out, do that kind of thing. You can definitely do that. Now, it does have some Rush Collectible. It says Rush Official Tape right here. Problem is, mine's just hanging by a thread, not really doing anything at all. So, pretty much worthless in the tape department. I know it's there to show that, hey, this has been tampered with. This has been opened up. Like KWK, great toy line. We've unboxed those Manitars PN News. Absolutely stunning figures. He did lock it in with tape. So, once it was removed, you know it's been out of the package. Can't say that about this one. I could easily put that right back on, say, I never opened it. And then they'd say, Kyle, I saw your video. I saw you opening it. And I'll say, you got me. You got me. Who knows? But it does look good. It says Figure 4 Series 1 Ringmasters officially licensed. This is not a toy, Mark Summers. It's not a toy. Rush Ringmasters, Maurice Tillet, the French Angel. Also, I had some issues with the card. I felt it was like a little bit grainy. This seems to look a little bit better. There's still some grain to it, but it kind of gives that spooky feel a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But all in all, the presentation is not too bad. I like the clear plastic packaging on the front. Getting to the back, we got a little bit of goodness on the back right here. I like to collect them all. You got Zabisco, Bronson Reed, Roadblock. You also got Maurice Tillet, of course, the French Angel, showing him here. Choking Hazard, may contain breakable, sharp, or small parts. You got to get the legalities in there. RushCollectibles.com, of course. Age is 18 and up. This is not a toy. Once again, Mark Summers, this is not a toy. QR code going on, promoting the socials. You got to do all that. Cross sales, promotion. You got all that going on here. It does show little images of the figures for Series 1 up there as well. You got Maurice Tillet, once again. Hand painting by Hugo Bravo at Hugo Bravo Artist. Figure 4 Series 1, once again, glamour shot. French Angel Maurice Tillet, 5'9". So I said, I thought he was like 6 foot, 5'9", 269 pounds. Born October 23rd, 1903. 1903, a banner year for wrestling, as we know as well. He started training the day he was born. Yep, true story. From St. Petersburg, Russia, heavyweight champion, it says. Okay, what promotion? Where was that? I'm not exactly sure. But it does look okay. I don't mind the packaging here. Looks all right for what we get. Now, will this just slide out? I would think it should. I would think it would just slide out. You would think. No, it won't. Oh, we got tape. Okay, we got to run it back a little bit. So we do got tape on the side. So we got 2 tapes here. You will definitely know if this has been out of the package. So I guess kudos to them. I got to walk that back a little bit. We do got tape on the side. Moving that out, and we're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll, strut and stroll. As you can see, slides right out, very nice. Thick carding, sturdy carding, improved over the first batch right there. Gonna put this off to the side of gentle. See you later, and it's time. It's French Angel time. Oh, one of the greatest Angels, right next to the Los Angeles Angels, or the Anaheim Angels, I guess. But we got Maurice Tillet out of the package, and very interesting figure. I guess we'll start at the head. And he's got the big nose, the big ears, the big mouth, 2 eyes, and a big unibrow, or not a unibrow, what is this, cranium? I don't know what you call that, but big features, of course. That's what he had, so it is kind of lifelike. It does look fairly cartoony. This doesn't look real like a Mattel Elite or something, but that fits the retro vibe. So all things considered, head looks fine for me right here. I don't got too many issues. Got a little bit of a smile going on, a little bit of cone head look to him there, but he had a crazy head, so it is true to form. But now getting into the body here, very interesting on these arms. So he's got hair on his arms, hair on his chest, and it almost looks like somebody got a pencil and just dotted them in like that. Just did one of these over and over. Would have liked to see, and of course, longtime viewers of the channel know what I want to see. I want to see the real chest hair. Give me that real fur chest hair. That's what I would have liked to see. Not in the cards right here. But it does look interesting. It's not raised up, so it's just kind of painted on. I don't think it's a decal of any kind. It just looks like it's in there. So very interesting, but he does got that hair going on there. And then you get down to the body, pretty plain Jane. Black boots, black sweatpants is basically what it looks like. And that's the French Angel for you, though. That's the French Angel. Very weird skin tone colors. It is a little bit white in the middle, but then his arms got a Thundercats orange hue to them. It's very interesting there. I'm not sure what they were going for there. But on the back here, very orange, not orange over here. So that's a little strange. You do got two clawing hands, a side one and a front one. So he's got two clawing hands going on. Of course, articulation, head back and forth, waist back and forth, arms up and down, back and forth, all that usual. And that's it. That's our usual articulation, of course, that we know we get in these retro style figures. I will say this isn't going to fall apart on me. This feels a lot more like the old Cella figures. Remember Cella toys back in the day? Than it does the Rush figures of old. So I guess you got to say it right here. Constant learning, constant improvement. It's just, is it too late at this point? That's the problem there. We know Rush Collectibles said they were getting out of the wrestling figure game. Then they're kind of back in it now. Now they're soliciting a Donald Trump figure. So a little bit all over the map right here, but you gotta say it right here. Constant learning, constant improvement. This is a lot better quality than the ones of the past. I didn't have as many issues. I talked about the Zabisco, but it is better quality than those, for those wondering that, of course, here. Looking very interesting. No hole in the foot, so he's not going to fit on a peg hole like a young Mike Chioda. He's not going to do that. But we do got some comparisons here to do. Let's bring out Bronson Reed. Very cartoony as well. Feels closer to this than Zabisco did, but a very interesting one. There's Bronson. You can kind of see those guys standing together. And then there's the one I had all kinds of issues with. It's Larry Zabisco. I just turned the arm a million times, and it just kind of fell apart here. Got it pretty tight in there, but it can still fall apart if you're not careful. Definitely a lot of improvement with the French Angel over Larry Zabisco. There's no doubt about it. But very interesting. An interesting one. Like I said, could be too little too late at this point. If they could have came out with this quality from the get-go, I think a lot of people would have been a little happier with Rush Collectibles. Wouldn't have the issues that we've seen online, of course. But that's the way it goes. You got one chance for a first impression. Somebody's watching this video for the first time, never seen me before, and says, man, what is this guy up to? What is he doing? That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. But that's the French Angel. Speaking of Mike Chioda over there, you got Earl Hebner, of course. Definitely feel different. Definitely look different. But you got two famous referees, definitely from the 80s and 90s, in Earl Hebner and Mike Chioda. This one, of course, from Heels and Faces, Zombie Sailor. So a tale of two retros, a tale of two retro companies. Going to be interesting, the future for both of these. Are they so bright they need to wear shades? We'll see what happens. Rush Collectibles needs some wins to get back up in the game. It might be too late. We're not sure. We'll see what happens. You got to stay in the fight if you want to be in the fight. We'll see what happens with Rush Collectibles. Figure collections, chugging along. I don't think they're getting the publicity of Grapplers and Gimmicks or Heels and Faces, and definitely not Mattel. But they do have some really good figures, as we've seen unboxed on the channel. So we'll have to stay tuned what they're up to in the future as well, between both toy lines that they have going on right now. So a lot of crazy stuff in the retro game. It's a wild time right now, as most do know. So there it is, the French Angel and Mike Chioda. Be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you here for them? You passing on them? You not sure? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and my other YouTube channel. 2 YouTube channels with content every single day. We also got a Patreon, easy for me to say, channel. Check that out. Even more content, bonus content, and best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel, PressTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Mike Chioda and the French Angel, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.